real thoughts, real trades, real journey. A video journal documenting the lessons learned on my journey to becoming a disciplined trader. Welcome to Trading the Journey. I'm Neil, and today I want to share a trading day that taught me one important lesson. Let's see what the market had to teach me. Well, today was kind of a funny day. I still don't know what to really think about it. You know, my bias was bullish for today based on the structure. So as you can see from yesterday's low, it started on an upward grind. Right at the market session, well, yesterday it went up, down, up, and then a slight grind down. And as soon as the new session opened, then it did its grind up, and it still was on a trend line. And then it broke its structure and did this grind down, roughly just after 3 a.m. It did that grind down. And then it came up in pre-market around 9 o'clock. And then, as you can tell, shot all the way to Narnia. So overall, not a pretty day for the bulls. My overall daily structure, my bias was bullish. And of course, the market told a different story. I wasn't opposed to a downside. Overall daily structure, sideways. Yeah, not what it was. I could see just a sideways day with a hint of grinding up. The upward trend started right after the new session opened, like I said. So I wasn't expecting much action today. My thought was I would rather put honey in my ears and take my chances on an anthill than to deal with sideways price action. Overall, it wasn't ugly, but it wasn't pretty either right after the open. There was a form of resistance going back several days, overall resistance, each making a lower high. So I was thinking that we would likely see some downward movement happen before it grinds up. So there were some really great bear moves. Now, immediately off the grip, we get this nice downward action. And we have a 3 inside up that I could have taken for a temporary trade, but I wasn't playing reversals. I was looking for a fence. Well, it broke outside the fence after the first 5 minutes, but it didn't give me a setup. It didn't give me a setup at all. So it was just dead at that point. I could have probably played a power bar, but I wasn't looking at that. The 5-minute had a good power bar play on, but I wasn't paying attention to the 5-minute chart. I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't sorry about missing it. I wasn't paying attention to that. So as you can tell, it came back up to the 20 SMA, the line, the blue line here, and then it grinded down even more. Didn't get in on this trade, even though it looked like would have been a valid reversal. Decided to wait. Came down. It formed kind of this support line right here. As you can tell, this bear candle touched it. And then we have this hammer candle, a bull hammer candle touch, which to me was basically a warning sign that the market could be reversing. So I waited. And then it gave me this sort of kind of tweezer bottom here. But as soon as this was a bullish engulfing candle to the upside, I took the trade immediately because it didn't bother touching this support right here. So I took it immediately, and you can see where I entered in. on the white line and where my stop was. And during that whole time I was waiting on that play, I was waiting and waiting and waiting. It was just getting boring. And then this happened. So I took the trade. I managed the trade the way my rules said to manage it. It closed above my 1-to-1 very cleanly, I might add. So I moved my stop up just above break even, few dollars, enough to cover commissions at least. And then something very strange happened that weirded me out. You know, the bears came in, and it didn't look like the candle was going to do much. And in the last 10 seconds, it shot down and took me out. Like, it was like driving a nail into the wood almost. Like, it just, pow, done, out. Okay. And then it proceeded to come back up above my 1-to-1 and was making me think maybe that it could have still gone up. I played it the way I was supposed to. And lo and behold, as you can tell, it continued down even further. I decided when it got to this point again, when it came back to my entry, I really decided to shut it down. Didn't want to deal with the rest of the day really. And again, I had some other things to do. I really had some other things to do. And as you can tell, there were other, stuff that played here. A 2-candle power bar here. I could have, if I had stayed in, taken to the downside. And then there was this here, and it wasn't a clean reversal. Even if I stayed on to look, this wasn't really a clean reversal I would ever want to get in on. A 3-bar power bar, maybe I could have gotten in on that. I mean, I'm not sore about missing trades. And here's another double bottom. This was a nice one too. And I'm not sore about missing the rest of the day. Like I said, that one candle just weirded me out. And I still don't know what to think about it. I still don't know what to think about it. But like I said, it eventually stopped me out. Who knows? You never know what the market's going to do. I wasn't emotional on this. It was just strange. It was just strange. Stranger than fiction. And there was a voice inside my head. It was the voice. Have you ever seen Fast Times at Ridgemont High? Mr. Hand. As soon as that candle happened, are you on dope? I was like, what just happened? So it shocked me. But tomorrow's another trading day, so yeah, I'll just come back tomorrow, and if there's a play, I'll get in on the action. If not, there's always another trading day. There's always another day. That's the lesson. There's always another day. Thank you for joining me for today's lesson. The market has voted. Today's lesson is written. I hope something from today's trade helps you on your own journey towards becoming a more disciplined trader. If today's trade reminded you of something you've experienced yourself, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. If you enjoyed today's journal entry, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button on that video and subscribe to follow the journey. Until next time, real thoughts, real trades, real journey.